Police say a Theodore Roosevelt Elementary School teacher, Carly Anderson, was also at the party, intoxicated.
And we are back, y'all. Thank you for watching today. Go ahead and hit that like button. You know it helps us out a ton, and it helps you because it helps us keep bringing you this content. Now, y'all, today's story is probably one of the most confusing stories that you are going to hear that I have had to report on in a long time. Now, check this out. Look at the title on your screen. Brevard County principal and teacher face charges after hosting, quote, white lie party with teenagers. Okay, so let's look into this story, y'all, and we're also going to look at the news report on this story here in a sec. And you can see it in the background, but we'll play it here in a sec. So I'm going to read. A Florida principal and teacher are facing charges after authorities said a child was found intoxicated at a party under their supervision. According to Brevard County Police, Elizabeth Hill Brodigan, principal of Roosevelt Elementary School in Cocoa Beach, hosted a party for about 100 teenagers as young as 13 years old at her home on January 19th. So this is just about a week ago. Elizabeth Hill Brodigan was seen by an officer at the top of her driveway, who then returned inside her residence and turned off the outside lights, causing EMS workers to not be able to see or treat the juvenile. So this was a juvenile who was found intoxicated at her house. The children were allowed access to alcohol kept in coolers throughout the house. So this principal of a school and a teacher are throwing a party with 100 kids there, teenagers, and they have alcohol apparently that they are providing to the kids, y'all. Can you believe this? Investigators described it as a, quote, white lie party, and participants wore custom white t-shirts marked with a, quote, white lie. Nearby, one teen leaving the party was stopped by police and charged with driving under the influence. An intoxicated third grade teacher was also in attendance. So you had this principal and the third grade teacher who apparently had been drinking as well. Now, I do not believe that the principal was the principal of the kids who were at the party, because she is described as an elementary school principal, and the kids are saying that the kids were teenagers, so as young as 13. So I don't believe there are a lot of 13-year-olds in elementary school. So it appears some kind of way this principal had a party with kids, 100 kids apparently, but not kids from her own school, because again, she's an elementary school principal. So y'all, let's look at this news report, and then we'll come back for a little bit more commentary.
Parents reacting to the arrest of an elementary school principal and a third grade teacher. This all stems from a rowdy house party with more than 100 teens in Brevard County.
Fox 35 was the only station there as police were outside that principal's house today. And Fox 35's Chancellor Wynn is live in Cocoa Beach tonight. So Chancellor, the community is in shock over these arrests.
Yeah, John Luann, we've been speaking with parents from Cocoa Beach Junior Senior High School. Those lights actually right there are the ones lighting up the school's parking lot. Now, those parents tell me they're shocked a bit, but not entirely, about the arrest of a teacher and a parent from this school. This is Roosevelt Elementary School. Now, again, it's a teacher and the principal of this school have been arrested. A father telling me nothing really surprises him anymore, but a mother speaking out says she's beginning to question her trust in educators.
To know that these kinds of things are happening is terrifying.
An underage house party at a Brevard County principal's home ends with first responders treating a heavily intoxicated juvenile in the front yard.
Elizabeth Hill Brodigan was seen by an officer at the top of her driveway, who then returned inside her residence and turned out the outside lights, causing the EMS workers to not be able to see to treat the juvenile.
Hill Brodigan is the principal at Theodore Roosevelt Elementary School, and Cocoa Beach police say around 100 kids were partying at her home on Sunday night and drinking alcohol that was available in coolers throughout the house. A nearby traffic stop landed one juvenile in jail, charged with a DUI.
They're the most precious things to you, your children, and you're trying to raise them well, and then they have this influence in their life. It's it just breaks my heart.
Police say a Theodore Roosevelt Elementary School teacher, Carly Anderson, was also at the party, intoxicated.
These kids, they trust teachers, they trust the administrators, and when you have someone betray that trust and lead these kids down a path like that, it's sad and scary all at the same time.
A mother of 2 Brevard Public School teens says this is something she never expected in her school district. Hill Brodigan is facing charges of child neglect, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and holding an open house party, while Anderson has charges of child neglect and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Now, detectives say they've interviewed nearly 100 kids from throughout the county, and the kids at the party were as young as 13 years old. Reporting in Cocoa Beach, Chancellor Nguyen, Fox 35 News.
Now, as you can see, there is no explicit mention that the teacher or the principal did anything inappropriate, if you know what I mean, that they did anything inappropriate with any of the students. I mean, of course, having this kind of party in and of itself is inappropriate, but there's no mention of any kind of inappropriate activity. But haven't y'all noticed that recently, particularly as it relates to women teachers, there have been just a plethora of stories that have come out in I would say the last 10 years and over the last 2 or 3 years. It just seems like this type of activity has even picked up. I mean, or maybe it's just that there's more reporting about it. Maybe it's always gone on. But you know, usually it's the man teachers or the older man who has the reputation as being the one who's creepy or inappropriate. But it seems like recently the women teachers have been getting that kind of vibe as well. And I wonder if it has to do with social isolation after 2020, or maybe some of the culture wars that we've seen, and a little bit of social breakdown where men and women maybe are just not communicating like we used to, and we don't have the same kind of strong bonds that we used to. Maybe they're just people who, inexcusably, by the way, this is certainly not an excuse, but perhaps what they're doing is seeking out people who are much younger and seeking out people who they can manipulate and use and have their own way. You know, I'm just trying to understand it, y'all, because this is not something that I grew up with. And I would think if you're, you know, in the 30 to 40 age range plus, this is not something we grew up with, but this is something that you're seeing more and more often. And I don't know, is there anybody listening to this right now, when you were 13, 14, 15, where your teachers and principals were throwing parties and giving you alcohol? I mean, that's just so far from my reality. So I definitely would like to hear from y'all. I'd like to know what you think about this. How do we understand this? That's really my question, because it's very difficult for me. So y'all let me know in the comments, what do you think? And of course, you know, we always appreciate you watching. We will be back with another story tomorrow. Until then, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.